Yeah, your cancer's back. You're stage 2. Your cancer's back. And I'm like, and I looked at him and I'm like, what? Like, is this common? Like, how many times does this happen to people?
So this would be your third time?
Yeah. So I was like, what are the odds of this happening? And I was just more like in shock. And I'm like, well, what are you talking about? Like, I feel fine. And then he's just like, no, Sherry, we need to start. And I go, okay, well, what's the plan? What do you reckon? You tell me what I need to do and I'm going to do it. And he's like, no, you need to start treatment.
What's up, guys? Happy Monday. Welcome back to the podcast. Thank you guys for checking it out. We got the Savage Squad right here. And right here we got Lupe.
What's up, y'all?
The one dozing off. Dozing off?
No, staring off.
Staring off into, I don't know what.
The future.
The abyss.
Future.
I don't know what. He's dazing off on the reels. You guys might have seen him. And we got Sunshine right here, the one dozing off.
Falling asleep.
Trying to keep her awake. But yeah, thank you guys for joining the podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in to the podcast. You know, we try to be consistent, try to give you guys the best value and share stories with you guys. Today, it's October. I don't know what the fuck Monday's going to be, but
today's the 9th.
No, but on Monday when it comes out. It's October, so for the month of October, we thought we'd talk about Sunshine's breast cancer. This is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So
say that fast 3 times.
Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So we're going to talk about that, her experiences, how she felt, the emotions she felt going through it, some of the challenges, some of the things she had to overcome, how she felt, what helped her, what didn't help her, you know what I mean? Everything like that. So you ready?
Yeah.
Let's hop straight into it.
Stop straight into it.
So what kind of cancer? Well, breast cancer, right?
Yeah.
So when did you get diagnosed?
When I was, first time was 37 years old. 37, 36, 37.
Uh-huh. And how
when I was
did
first
that,
diagnosed.
like, was it like the routine where they just go randomly get checked, or did
No.
you feel something that you had to go get checked?
Yeah, I felt something. I had a lump. But then I just let it go for a while. And then finally, my grandma is the one who told me, you should go get it checked. It's not going away. It's getting bigger. And then that's when I went to Kaiser to go get it checked. But Kaiser kind of just like, they just felt you up. They didn't
They still do that now or back then?
I don't know how they do it. Well, they do it different for me now. But I don't know how they do it now for like an average person. But they just basically felt me up because they said I wasn't, like they didn't see me in the category to even have cancer.
Like the age range?
Yeah. Well, the age range or anything.
Were you like high risk or something? Or
yeah.
What is it?
No, I just didn't meet like the criteria to be worried about it.
There's no, okay.
And so I told the doctor, like, well, I didn't know there was a certain, like, you know, like race, age. Like, I didn't know there was a certain thing that people get cancer. I just thought anybody could get it. But, so then he just felt me up and just told me, oh, it's just a lump. Just keep an eye on it, whatever. It's probably nothing. And I went home and then ended up going back to get checked in again. But then that's when they came back saying, yeah.
You're the same doctor, or how long after
No,
was it?
it was a different doctor. It was like probably 4 months later.
And why'd you go back? Because you were like, it's not going away.
Wasn't going away. It was just getting bigger. Yeah. It was just getting bigger. It started hurting. So then I ended up going back, and it was a different doctor. And he ended up doing a biopsy on it.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up doing a biopsy on it, and Uncle Victor is the one who took me to go get it done. And then you just wait for those results to come back. And I don't know. To me, like, we really didn't hear about it a lot in the family. So, you know, I'm just thinking, it's probably a cyst, a gland, something. You know what I mean? It's probably no big deal. Don't think nothing of it, but let me just get it checked out since it's getting bigger and it's hurting. And then when they called me back, then that's when they said, oh, no, yeah, it's cancer.
They called you on the phone?
Yeah, well, they called me to go in.
Oh, okay.
And then when I went in, that's when the doctor told me that it's cancer. But when I went back, I ended up going back to this totally different doctor. Just because I wasn't happy with the way Kaiser handled the whole thing. I just didn't like, it just left a bad taste in my mouth because I'm like, shoot, if you're telling me I have cancer, then I need to get a whole second opinion because you were just saying this was nothing. And now you're saying that it is something. And then that's when my friend Melissa recommended the doctor right there on the clinic right there on Valley Avenue and or Valley Boulevard. And then I ended up going to him. Then he redid all the tests, like he did everything. And then he was just like, oh yeah, no, you have cancer. And I was like, what the heck? But at that time I was planning Priscilla's quinceañera. So I don't think everything sunk in, didn't have a chance to sink in because I was too busy doing centerpieces, because I was doing everything by myself. So I didn't have time to
So when they told you in the hospital, you didn't break down, it didn't hit
No.
you? You were just like, okay.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, okay, that's crazy. Like, but I still got to do this. Like, I still have to hold it together for this. So I can't really, like, deal with this right now.
Yeah. Did anybody else in your family have cancer prior to you finding out you had cancer? Like, did you know anybody in your
Prior
family?
to me, no.
Oh, okay.
No.
Just I was wondering because you said it didn't really like phase you, so I was like maybe, so you didn't. Yeah. Okay.
But it's crazy because, like, later on, like when I got it in, my last one was 2014. When I got it in 2014, me and my cousin found out 4 months apart we had it from my mom's side of the family. And then my grandma ended up getting it, but she ended up having a mastectomy done. She ended up having to lose one of her breasts. So, but this was all after I had got it the first time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But yeah, you were the first one kind of in your
With
family
breast cancer, yeah. That anybody has spoke about anyways. You know what I mean? That we know of. So.
When did it hit you then? After the quinceañera? Right before or during? I don't know.
Well, I don't even think it hit me, but I think it hit me more after the fact. But then,
like from when you got diagnosed, like the doctor's office, they told you.
Yeah.
How long after did you process? Like, oh shit, this is serious.
Oh, it was like right after the quinceañera and everything's over.
Weeks?
I would say like a few days.
Oh, okay.
Afterwards, then it's when like it hit me like, oh shit, like, okay, is it gonna spread? Cause it's get worse. Then I have more questions like, okay, is it controlled? Are we gonna be able to control it? But then that's when they just gave me a radiation pill.
That was the only option?
To take it. Well, that's all he recommended was just a radiation pill. And he's like, you'll be fine, take the radiation pill, then we're going to keep checking you, and you'll have to start doing your checkups now every 6 months. You'll have to start coming in for your checkups every 6 months. So I'm like, okay.
What did like your family, your partner, your parents, what did everybody say?
Well, at that time I was divorced already. I was already divorced because we were doing Priscilla's quinceañera. So there was no partner. But family-wise, everybody was kind of just like, everything's going to be all right. Everything's going to be okay. Like, don't worry about it. Everything's going to be fine. It'll all work out. You know what I mean? But in your mind, like, you want to believe that. But then there's that little percentage of you, because we're human.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like...
fear.
Yeah, like there's that 10% that has fear in you. I mean, yeah, you want to be positive, and yeah, it'll work out. Everything has to be okay. It has to be okay. But then there's that little 10% of you that has that doubt, like, is everything gonna be okay? Like, I know other people have died, so what if I'm one of those people? You know what I mean? What if it spreads? What if it gets worse? And but the last time that I got it in 2014, it did spread to my uterus. So then I ended up having a hysterectomy.
Going back though a little bit, so they told you to take that radiation pill and see you in 6 months. So then what happened? Did you keep taking it and seen them in 6 months? Did it get worse?
No, I was fine. I did the radiation pill for 6 months, and then he put me back into remission because all my levels came back good. There was no signs of nothing. And
how did those pills affect? Did they affect you at all? Was there any side effects?
They just made me messing with my appetite. Like I wasn't hungry. I didn't want to eat stuff, and everything tasted like different. So like my food was just like hit and miss. Like I wasn't really hungry.
But there's no like weight loss or hair loss or anything like that?
No, I didn't have no hair loss.
Or something?
Yeah, I didn't have no hair. Yeah.
So overall, it wasn't like the pill wasn't like extreme, like where it affected your your hormones and all that.
That. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Where you're losing all your hair and you're losing weight or gaining weight or whatever the case may be. If you have to do steroids, like in 2014, they ended up putting me on steroids. But then I told the doctor I didn't want it because you start blowing up and gaining weight. Like swelling up like you're gonna explode like a balloon though.
So, but after you did the 6 months, so then you're good, right? They put you in remission.
Yeah.
So what year was that?
That was when I was 37. I'm 53 now.
I don't remember what year. Like
2007 maybe? Is it?
I don't know. So from there then.
I think 2007, 6.
You were good for a couple years?
I was good for a few years.
Yeah.
I was good for a few years.
Do you feel like kind of like maybe it felt not as serious then? Because they tell you take this pill, you don't have too many side effects.
Yeah.
Everything's all good. It's kind of like,
fine.
oh, it was. You hear about people dying. You see on the TV,
or people
right?
doing chemo, losing their hair,
Yeah.
getting sick, throwing up.
You might have seen even
being
people in
weak,
person
doing that. You hear those stories, so I'm just like,
and you didn't have none of that.
I didn't have to
was
do
it
none of
kinda
that.
like,
So I was kind of like, well, shoot.
I guess it wasn't that bad as
like
I thought.
damn, I was lucky. Like this is good. Like, you know, I didn't have all that like everybody else, like some other people may have. So I was like, okay, cool. And I just did my checkups every 6 months. Then he started changing it to once a year. Then he cleared me for once a year. Then I'd go once a year. And then I don't even remember. It was maybe, I don't know, about 6 years. I was at your Tia Veronica's house. Maybe about 6 years later. 6 years later is when they said it came back. Mm-hmm. They came back, they found another lump, and they had to do another biopsy.
Same side?
The biopsy, same side. And they came back, and it was cancer again.
And you were still doing your yearly checkups?
Yeah. And that's how they found that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how they found that. And then I remember I was renting in the back of Veronica's, her house in the back. And at that time, it was crazy because at that time, my mom and I had a disagreement, a little fallout. And we weren't talking for, I think it was like 4 months. So then I'm like, well, how do you call your parents and tell them? I'm not even talking to my mom. You know what I mean? I was like, man, like, okay, well, if it was me, I would want to know. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm going to have to be the one who make the phone call now and be like, this is what's going on. And I remember when I called my dad to tell my dad's the one who I told first. And when I called my dad, and then he's like, all right, well, let me pass the phone to your mom so you could talk to your mom. I'm like, okay. And then, I let my mom know, and then like, okay, well, what are they going to do? And I'm like, they're going to start me on treatments again. I was like, he said, they're real mild, but we'll go from there. I'm like, okay. I remember I was throwing up a lot. My hair got thin, but I didn't have bald spots.
When they give you the second treatment, were you thinking like, okay, it's going to be kind of,
like the same?
You would imagine your first experience is going to be similar.
I thought it was going to be similar. Like everything's
so
going to be okay.
You might have not been as worried as the first time because you're like, okay, I've been here. It is going to be okay. You have more faith, right?
Yeah.
More kind of,
Yeah. You have more like, okay, well, the first one turned out okay, so this one's going to be fine too.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay.
And what did you say they give you? What was your treatment on that one?
On that one, he gave me a radiation pill, and I had to do chemo, but it was like mild chemo, a mild dose of chemo. And that, like, my hair got, what do you call it? Like, started falling out.
Thin?
Yeah, it just, like, thinned out, but I didn't have, like, I didn't
bald.
shave it or nothing, yeah.
It was just like, randomly falling?
Yeah,
okay.
It would just, like, shed out.
Oh, okay.
Just shed out. And then, but I did throw up. I couldn't eat. I just did a lot of like Jellos and popsicles. Jellos, popsicles, and sometimes it was a soup, like those cup of noodles, the broth in it.
Yeah.
And that was it. That was mainly like what was my go-to. That would stay down because I'm like, I wouldn't eat because then I would throw up and I didn't want to throw up. So I'm like, I'm not even really hungry or anything.
Yeah.
How were you doing it like with work? You were working during this?
No.
Or you take time off?
I took time off for work.
And you didn't have nobody? Like, you didn't have a partner? Did you have a partner?
No.
So how were you doing it financially?
Your dad and I were already divorced. Well, because I rented the back of your tia's.
Uh-huh.
So thank God, she wasn't even charging me a lot. But even when she found out that, she was just like, I was like, well, now I was getting child support. So I was just like, well, can I just give you this much? And then once I get back on, everything all together. And she was even just like, no, like, don't even worry about it. Like, we'll figure it out later. Like, don't even worry about none of that right now. Like, just worry about you. And I was just like, okay. But I would still give her like $200 or, you know what I mean? It was like totally a lower amount than what she was charging us to live there, me and Priscilla to live there. But so she ended up working with me on that, which was good because
that's a big help because if you're staying anywhere else, they don't give a shit.
Wouldn't care. You would have to move out.
Paper. Yeah, you're just a
person on
paper.
You would just have to move out. Like, I don't know what to tell you. You better go find family to live with or something.
Sounds like a big like weight off your shoulders.
So it was very good. I was very grateful that I was living with family or renting from the back of family because, of course, they're going to have more compassion. versus somebody who doesn't even know you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how long do you do the chemo?
That was a total of 6 months.
6 months?
It was 3 months
What
chemo, 3 months
what was the hardest
radiation.
part?
I think the hardest part was just not feeling good. Throwing up, not having no energy, not wanting to do nothing. Like, just leave me alone. Just leave me alone. I don't want to do nothing. Priscilla would come try to talk to me. Priscilla would want to, like, oh, well, here, eat this, eat that, or my tia send this. And I'm just like, I don't want it. Just leave me alone. Like, I just want to be left alone right now. I just want to be left alone. And I remember I just got really, like, frustrated. And I remember one of your cousins, Jasenia, she turned around, and I remember, because everybody would blow up my phone or text me and call me, but I would never answer nobody. I never answered, like, nobody's calls, nobody's texts, nothing. And then one time, Jasenia called me. She was like, well, Sunshine, I don't know what it's like to go through it, but I just want you to know, like, God's always with you, and just hang on to God. And I was irritated. I was frustrated. I was irritated. And I just turned around and told her, well, you know what? What if I can't hang on to him? What if I can't? What's your answer then? It's so easy for you to tell me when you don't even know what I'm feeling right now. You don't even know what I'm going through. And I think it hit me harder because I was going through it alone.
Yeah.
And so then and that's when I just told her, like, you don't know what it's like. You don't know what it's like. Like, you're not going through something like this alone. I am. I don't have nobody who's my backbone here.
Yeah.
And then she was just like, and then that's when, like, I just snapped on her. And then she was just like, I'm just going to pray for you. I'm just going to pray. I wanted to go visit you. And I was like, no, I don't want nobody coming to visit me. I don't want nobody to see me. I don't want nothing. And then, but it was true what she said, because then, like, there would be times where I'd be by myself, sitting there, like, Priscilla would go to your dad's on the weekend, and I would be sitting there by myself. And then I would just be crying of frustration, just frustrated. And I would just be crying, and I'll just be like, oh, okay, well, God, I can't hang on to you right now, so you're going to have to grab me, because I can't.
Yeah.
Like, I can't. Emotionally, I'm just a mess right now. You know? And so I think that hit me harder than versus the first time I got it.
Yeah. Sounds like it.
Yeah, that
Sounds like
hit me harder.
a lot more intense.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, in retro, like, looking back at it, do you feel like you felt like you were going through it alone, but reality, you had people around you that you could have helped, that you could call on, that were there? Like, say, Priscilla, she was there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Veronica, she was there financially.
Yeah.
To help that, and maybe those other people that you could have called. We're not the best at, like, putting our hand out and asking for help.
Yeah.
And because I've been there in that position before, where it's like sometimes we put ourselves alone.
Yeah.
We're not really alone,
Yeah,
but
and
we
that's
feel
what
alone.
happened in
You
that
isolate
case.
everybody.
Yeah.
And you feel like you're alone, but you put yourself there. So, like, looking back, do you feel like that's how it was?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that I'm the one who caused that, pushing people away.
Like, nobody knows what you feel like for sure. They like that's a fact.
Yeah.
But that you can't have somebody there like, hey, can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? Or, hey, whatever it may be, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Doing your laundry or something that we don't think of, but that's a big help.
Yeah, yeah. Oh no, definitely. I think I'm the one who made the situation worse with that, but in the moment you don't see that.
So the second round, the second time, it was more weight on you, like, mentally. It was more like of a mental battle.
Yeah. It was definitely more of a mental battle.
Was it
because I didn't have nothing going on. I think because the first time when I was planning Priscilla's quinceañera, like, I was so wrapped up with that and trying to just do that and let's get this done. Let's get this over. Let's just knock this out, get this over with, focus on that. So I didn't have time to really think of nothing else or myself. You know what I mean? So then the second time, then that's when I didn't have nothing going on.
Even if you didn't have nothing, though, but I think from what it sounds like, the first time you didn't lose much.
Yeah.
Right? And it didn't affect you that much. The second time, it was a lot more toll on you physically.
Yeah.
Which can take a toll if you're not mentally prepared, or if you're not mentally strong, or you're not mentally there where you want to be, should be, you need to be.
Yeah.
Then it's just, it's that much more worse.
Yeah.
Would you say, like, leading up, like, at that point, up until that point, that was the hardest time of your life?
Yeah, I would say yeah.
She felt like at an all-time low.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because I just felt like I was alone. You just feel, even though you're not alone, you got family around you, cousins, aunts, uncles. You know what I mean? Kids. I have my kids. You feel alone, but like yeah, that is true. One just kind of secludes themselves.
Yeah.
You know, and pushes everybody else away, because like sometimes when people turn around and say, "Oh well, like it's not that bad," or it'll all be all right. Well, you don't know if it's gonna be all right, so stop saying that. Like you don't know if it's gonna be all. And even though people mean well, that's not what somebody on the other end wants to hear. Like you don't know. You don't know. What if it's not all well? What if it's not all right?
Yeah.
Then what are you gonna be on my bedside telling me then? You know what I mean? Like, oh well, shoot, I thought it was gonna be okay.
Do you think there's something that somebody could have helped you, like tell you in that time that would have been better than telling you it's okay or it's gonna be okay?
I think it's just sometimes not saying anything. I think sometimes just not saying anything and just somebody just being there. Just there. What do you need from me? You need me just to sit here? You need me just to sit here. You need me to wash the clothes. You need me to just make you laugh. Like things like that. You don't know if everything's gonna be okay, so don't tell me everything's gonna be okay. You know, instead just make conversation. Yeah, make conversation. Make me laugh or take the mind off of it and talk about something else. Like I think that's the best way to try to help somebody, unless somebody needs to vent and like about how they're feeling. You know, I was the opposite at that time. I didn't want to vent about nothing. I just wanted to just be left alone.
And that was the whole chemo, the whole 6 months?
Yeah, that was the whole 6 months.
Or you say 7 or was it 6 or 7?
No, 6.
Okay.
6 months.
And then after you did that, what is it, like eliminated it, the cancer? Like
yeah, you're back in remission. And then I go back to every 6 months again. I'm doing every 6 months, every 6 months, every 6 months.
So then you got off chemo, you start feeling better?
Yeah. Okay. You just have to like start building up your like immune system. You know what I mean? And everything, because it's basically poison they're putting in your body to strip you
it breaks everything
to kill
down.
everything. Yeah, to kill even everything good that you have. So it's just like basically starting all over again. You know what I mean? And body-wise, like your immune system-wise, is like starting all over again. And then after that, then I just went back. Once I finished my 6 months, then I went to every 6 months. Then I went to every year again. Every year that he's like, you're good. We'll see you in a year. We'll see you in a year. I'm like, okay, cool. And I just made sure I never missed an appointment. I just always made sure, okay, my ears, I got to get checked. I got to get checked.
Do you feel like after that second battle, do you feel like your perspective on life changed? And if so, like how?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it did change, because it just makes you think like from one day you just think everything's fine. You go for a checkup or you go for something, and then just like that, it could change when you have no control, no nothing. You don't have a say-so in what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? You just left with, here it is, and now we got to figure out how to deal with it. So it just made me like appreciate life a little bit better. Like, you know what I mean? As far as when it came down to spending time with family or doing things or not being so mad about dumb things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was the main thing, like not being mad about dumb things, like just let it go.
Yeah, I feel like
just try to let it go.
I feel like maybe somebody in that situation prior to that, they'd probably get irritated with work, they'd complain about it, or something with their family or their kids, or they don't have enough time to take them to the game, and they got to pay for their gear, whatever, like minor stuff, right?
Yeah.
But then something like that happens, and you're just like, I wish I could go to their game.
Yeah.
I wish I could go to work to hear people bitch. I wish I could deal with those angry customers, because now I'm just at home, just not able to.
Or
have
you
nothing.
even hear other people complain about this or.
Like, I want to deal with traffic.
Oh my God, why are you letting that bother you? It's not even a big deal. Just don't even let the other person bother you. Like, why are you letting it bother you?
Like insignificant things.
Yeah, just like silly things.
Yeah.
Where like it would probably bother me too before. But now it's less like, it's not even worth it. Like, it's not even that serious. Like, okay.
And it's sad that you have to be stripped of all that.
Yeah.
For you to, because it's like, you don't appreciate what you got until it's gone.
Until it's gone. Or you're put into a situation
and as cliche as that sounds, it's true, right?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
So after that, what you feel like I made it, I'm through the woods.
Yeah.
Right? You feel like
for a long
2 times, like this one was bad. I barely made it. I would imagine that's
like mentally.
How you felt. I felt like I barely made
mentally.
It.
I'm like, damn,
like,
mentally I barely came out of that.
Bit.
Yeah. I'm like, man, mentally I barely came out of that. Like,
because you just said too that you're like, what if God don't got me or something, right? So maybe you're having that,
because I was even
battle with your faith and all that too, and this probably never happened.
Yeah, I was even questioning like my belief, my faith. Like, well, people say God exists. Well, where is he? Where is he? Like, I don't feel him right now. I don't feel him. And I can't sit here and lie about it. Even I would tell Jasenia, like, I'd be a liar, a bold-faced liar, and he knows I'm lying. So why am I going to try to lie about it? Like, I know he understands my heart and how I feel. I'm just being honest about and open about how I feel. And she was just like, no. Like, he understands that. He understands that. And I'm just like, yeah, like, I don't get it. You know, I don't get it. So, yeah, like, emotionally, it just put me in a rough spot to overcome that, a rough spot. Because there was even times where I couldn't even take Priscilla to school. I couldn't take her to school. Uncle Victor was taking her, or she would spend the night there, and then he would take her and Joseph to school. Like, no, yeah. Yeah, or your dad would pick her up and take her. So, yeah, no. It was definitely like a game changer versus the first time. It was definitely a game changer. Yeah. And so I was just like very grateful to make it. Like, okay. And then it just made me see perspective a little different as far as like not being mad over petty stuff or little things, not letting little things bother me, be more forgiving. And then I was cool for a long time. for a long time, I was good.
Yeah.
Until 2014. Until 2014.
Do you feel like through that battle you came out a better person, as messed up as it is?
Yeah.
You know, like,
oh yeah,
it's crazy how I think about it. Like,
yeah, because I remember Pa's always saying, like, and with anything you go, even when I went through my divorce, he even said, like, we all go through different things in life. That's just a given. We're all gonna go through different things in life. Some people go through more intense things, more intense moments than others. And he's like, but if you go through something and you're the exact same person at the end of it, then that's pretty sad. He's like, but if you go through something and something changed, whether the way your outlook, you know, or the way you do things, whatever it is, something's changed at the end of that, then what you went through wasn't for nothing. Then that there's a reason why people go through things. It's just a matter of the individual, whether they want to see it or not. And like, I never understood that until I went through things, and I was like, dang, Paul's is right. You know, and that's one of those situations, again, where, yeah, he was right. You know, where you just reevaluate and be like, dang, that's so true.
Yeah, instead of looking at it as a loss, gotta look at it as a lesson.
Yeah.
There's a lesson in everything.
Yeah.
You might not like the class, you might not like the lesson, but
you may not even signed up for it.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
No, for I know for cancer usually it's like stage 1. Like, was that like a stage 1 cancer, or is it different for breast cancer?
No, it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
So
Stage 1.
what's
1 is the least and 4 is the worst.
So where were you at on that spectrum?
So when I had it the first time,
yeah,
it was stage 1. When I had it the second time, it was stage 2.
Okay, and that was 20. You said 14?
No.
14 was this last 10 years ago when I had it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was stage 2.
That was stage 2.
That was
okay.
stage 2 too.
Okay, I was just asking because I know, like, I've met people that have different stages
yeah.
cancer. I was wondering because I don't think you said that.
And stage 4 would be the worst. Like, that's the worst. Like,
yeah.
That's the hardest battle. It's all a hard battle, but that's when, like, the odds are stacked against you.
Yeah.
When you have stage 4, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but no, mine was stage 2.
So then, that fast forward to 2014, right?
Yeah.
Because that was prior to 2014.
Yeah.
So then, what's up?
Fast forward to 2014, I'm remarried. I ended up getting remarried.
Woohoo!
What'd you say?
I'm like, woohoo!
I ended up getting remarried. Everything was fine. We bought a house together. Everything was, okay. And then,
like you said, you think you're through the woods.
You think everything's good. I've been fine all these years.
That's a hiccup in my life.
I still do my checkups. I still stay on top of everything. But it's crazy because once the fear, and it's not like, people can try to say like, oh, like, don't let fear. No, it's not that. It's like once that cancer fear is like inside your mind, I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are, how religious you are. It has nothing to do with that. That fear never goes away. It never goes away, no matter how. Even when you do your regular checkups, it's nerve-wracking to sit there. Yeah, it's nerve-wracking to sit there and do your test, and then it's nerve-wracking to wait for your test results to come back.
Yeah.
And that's I would say every cancer patient. you know what I mean, that goes through it still, or that is going through it or has went through it and they're in remission, but they still got to stay on top of everything. But so I was still doing on top of my checkups and everything. And at that time I was working at the casino. I was working at that time it was San Manuel. I was working at San Manuel Casino. And I went for my checkup. And then that's when he's like, well, there's something kind of suspicious. So I just want to follow up just because your history is better for us to be safe than sorry. We'd rather catch it ahead of time than us just kind of like ignore it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, like for sure. At this point, I was already used to it. So I'm like, yeah, whatever you need to do. And then the doctor that I got, like Dr. Webb, he was an amazing doctor. Like he was on it. He was on it, like with my tests, my everything. He was like a really good doctor. And then he's like, okay, well, let's do this, let's do that, let's do this. It's not like, he wouldn't be like, well, let's do this and see what this comes back at. He would write up everything, and we're doing all these different tests on her. So get it, have her make appointments and
Was that
figure
the
it all
first
out.
doctor from, or was that the previous doctor with the other one, or no? It was completely new
It was a
doctor?
new, completely new one.
No, this is the same doctor from when I got
That your
the
friend
second
recommended you
opinion
to?
from the first time. Yeah.
Oh,
And I
this is
just stayed
on
The
with
one
that.
on Valley
On
that
Valley.
your friend, okay.
Yeah, that's the where I still go. And and so I'm like, okay, well then yeah, he calls me back in his office. At that time I'm remarried. He's busy, he's working, he can't make it to go with me to the doctor's office. So I'm just like, it'll be fine. It's probably nothing, you know, I'll be all right. So I go in there. He's like, I need you to come in. We need to sit down and, you know, I want to go over your results and everything. So I'm like, okay, like maybe he just wants me to maybe he just wants to check on something. So I'm thinking, no big deal, I'll be okay. I get in there and I go, and then that's when I was like, he's like, yeah, your cancer's back. You're stage 2. Your cancer's back. And I'm like, and I looked at him and I'm like, what? Like, is this common? Like, how many times does this happen to people?
So this
Like-
would be your third time.
Yeah. So I was like, what are the odds of this happening? And I was just more like in shock. And I'm like, well, what are you talking about? Like, I feel fine. And then he's just like, no, Sherry, we need to start. And I go, okay, well, what's the plan? What do you reckon? You tell me what I need to do and I'm going to do it. And he's like, no, you need to start treatment. I'm like, okay, well, whatever you need me to do, like, we're going to do that. And then I get to the car in the parking lot and I just start crying. Because I'm like, what are the odds?
Yeah.
Like, what are the odds of this happening? Like, damn, am I that jinxed, that cursed?
Yeah.
That's exactly how I felt in the car. Like, am I that jinxed? Am I that cursed? Like, damn.
Yeah.
And I just sat in the parking lot for a while, just crying, letting it out, just my emotions, just talking to myself, letting it all out, whatever. And then I get home and I'm just like, oh my God, well, yeah, what am I gonna do now? You know, so then I was like, okay, well, we start my treatment. We're doing chemo and radiation. We're doing chemo and radiation, and
And this is still the same, again, same side.
same side.
Oh, shit. Because I know sometimes it'll like,
jump
yeah,
around.
it'll jump around. So same side, okay.
Same side. And so I start everything, me in my mind, because I was trying to be positive. So me in my mind, at that time, Melissa and my friend Melissa, she's the one who recommended this clinic. Her and I were working at San Manuel together. And I called her and told her everything. And she's like, well, what are you going to do with work? Like, are you going to tell work? What are you going to do? And I was like, I'm not saying nothing to work. I'm just going to show up to work to go to work. She's like, what the hell? I was like, girl, you got to promise you don't tell nobody nothing.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, but I don't think that's the right decision. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think you need to be at work.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I was like, I don't want to be home and my mind is getting the best of me.
Because you've already been through that.
Because, yeah, it's just going to, I don't want to be a mess.
Yeah.
And so I told her, no, I just need to be at work. I need to keep myself busy.
Were you thinking too about the second time, like, okay, I did radiation, I did chemo, I
Yeah.
know what it feels like.
Yeah.
So you're thinking too, like, okay, you're comparing it to the previous.
Yeah.
And you're like, I could be able to work. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna feel nauseous, I might not, whatever, but I'll be able to work.
Yeah.
Okay. Was it like that?
No. Nope.
Because they upped the dosage. Was it because it's stage 2, so everything's more
Yeah.
in dosage? It's stronger.
Yeah. He gave me stronger and I'm going to work. And I was fine. I was fine for a little bit. And then next thing you know, I want to say maybe, the week and a half
Did
in.
the doctor know you were going to work?
Nope.
Did he ask you?
Nope. He didn't ask me, and I didn't volunteer no information.
So he didn't tell you, hey, you need to work or doctor's work, no, or something.
Nope.
He didn't say, what do you do for...
Nope. He didn't ask
job?
me, and
Oh,
I
he
didn't
didn't say anything. Yeah.
volunteer because I knew.
Yeah.
I knew what he was going to tell me. Like, you're not going to work. Like, you tripping. You're not going to work. So I'm like, what the heck? So I go to work, whatever, and there were times where I was beat. I was beat. And I'd go in the restroom in the stall and just like this, just sit on the restroom toilet, not even going to the bathroom. I have my pants on, I'm just sitting there like
Trying to catch your breath.
what am I doing?
Yeah.
I need to go home. Like, I really probably should go home. And then next thing you know, in that same breath, I'm like, you didn't come to work just to do 4 hours. You only got 4 more to go.
Was there a financial reason too?
So,
Or was it that, if you don't go to work, then you're going to not have the money because you had a house now?
No, because I was remarried. He
So
had a
it
good
wasn't
job,
even
so it wasn't
financial.
even money. It wasn't even money, because he had yeah.
Sorry, I had a question. Because I know we said, what did your significant other say when you, like...
Oh, yeah.
You didn't mention that because you said you went home.
How did that conversation go?
How did he take
That
it?
conversation went.
How?
I mean, I told him,
Uh-huh.
this is what's going on, this is what happened, and I was like, you know what, I probably should have waited maybe to you to have time to go with me. I told him, and he was just like, well, pretty much he just was like, kind of like just no emotion about it. Mm-hmm. And he kind of just said, like, well, I'm pretty sure like your daughter could go with you. I'm pretty sure Priscilla could go with you,
Mm-hmm.
or you could ask Robert to go with you. Like, see if one of your kids could take you. He was a truck driver.
Okay.
So he's like, you already know I'm going to be out. So, like, between your kids, you should be able to figure it out, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like,
Oh, so you didn't feel
all
supported.
right, whatever.
So you didn't feel supported?
No, not from your partner, no.
No.
Not
Well,
the
for
way
you,
it
yeah.
should be, no.
Okay.
But as far as money-wise, no, that, you know what I mean? Everything was still getting paid. He was still taking care of, all the, that was it wasn't a financial issue. And so then...
Would you rather have him go with you and you guys have financial issue? Because he's looking at it, he might be looking at it like, well, I still got to go to work because bills don't stop. But
Yeah.
you're looking at it like he's not there. But what if he is there, but the income's going to stop, the bills don't stop, so then you guys are in financial. He's with you.
Yeah, because you said the other 2 times you already went through it by yourself.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this time.
Well, no, it wasn't even that I needed him there. It would have just been nice to have somebody there, like to when I went to my appointment, just to hear the news with me. Mm-hmm. Like, I got you, we're going to be good. Like, I got you, I'm here.
Some type of words of encouragement.
I'm here, I got you, I'm not going nowhere, I'm right here. Like, we're going to get through this together.
Yeah.
We're going to get through it together. I didn't have that. And then it's not even that I needed him to like stay home and quit his job or take time off. Like, I didn't need that. I needed more support, like as far as like emotional support.
Yeah.
Like, just let me know, like, no matter what, like, we're going to be all right. Like, no matter what, I'm here. Mm-hmm. No matter what, I'm here. Call me throughout the day. Hey, how you doing? Text me. Hey, how you doing? I'm just checking on you. How you feeling? Yeah, no, I didn't get none of that. I didn't get none of that from the get. Mm. And so it started making me feel some type of way, like, well, how do you go all day not even wondering, like, if I'm okay, or check on me, or what, do I need anything on the way home? Like, or sometimes he'd be gone for 3 days, 4 days. And so then it would be like, do you need anything? Do you need me to have somebody take you something? Or just a thought, I think, would have just meant something. Not that you even had to do it.
Yeah.
But so I went to work, and I started struggling at work. I started struggling at work. And I remember I just started sitting in the restroom. I just started sitting in the restroom, and I would just take some breaths and be like, mentally talk to myself, powwow myself, hype myself up, and just be like, all right, come on, you got 4 more hours, or you got 3 more hours, you got 2 more hours, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't come here just to leave in the middle of your shift. Like, you're good. You can do this, Sherry. You can do this. You can do this. And I go back out there, and I start working again. And I remember it got to the point where I couldn't drive. So then Melissa and I started carpooling. Like, I would carpool with her. And she would start picking me up and dropping me off at home. And she's like, and then that's when I started losing my hair. So then I'm like, but I was still able to pull my hair back in a bun to where I could still hide it.
Oh, I see.
And so I'm like, okay, but then I'm starting to lose more hair to where even if I pull it, like you would just see like big old bald spot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just see hair and bald spots. So then I was just like, I'm going to shave it. I'm just going to shave it. And I remember when I told at that time, my husband, I told my ex, like, I need to shave my hair. Like, it's just, look at me. Like, I have big old patches missing. I can't even hide this. I just need to shave it. I just need to shave it and stop fighting it. I just need to shave it. And he's like, why would you want to look ugly like that?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess you're not shaving it for me. Because you're not going to want to shave it for me. I was just like, yeah, whatever. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, why would you say that? And then I remember Jasenia had called to check on me. And she's like, what are you doing? I said, I'm just getting ready to shave my hair. She's like, who's with you? I said, just me. She's like, I'm on my way over. You're not doing that by yourself.
Yeah.
You're not doing it by yourself. I don't even care. You're not doing it by yourself. And I was just like, okay. I remember we were sitting in the bathroom. We put some music on. And I started crying. When she started shaving it, I just started crying. She's crying. I'm crying. And then she just kept saying, I'm sorry. I'm here. Like, I'm here. Like, this sucks. Like, I'm not, I shouldn't be the one here with you, but I'm here. And then she would just tell me, like, what a jerk. Like, I don't even know what he's thinking. And I'm just like, yeah, I can't think about him right now.
Yeah.
I can't focus on his emotion and be his support system. I can't do that.
Yeah.
Like, I got to worry about my own self right now. And then, I ended up shaving it. And I walked into work like nothing with the bald head. And not one supervisor asked me nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody. Maybe because it would have been a what do you call that? Like, what do you call that? Like,
I don't know, what is it called? Stereotyping or like some type of harassment
Yeah.
or something where it's like you can go however you
yeah.
want.
So I don't know if that's why maybe nobody ever
They don't
asked
have a
me.
right to ask you about your
Yeah.
image or something like that.
But nobody ever asked me nothing.
Are you okay? They could have said, "Are you okay?"
Yeah. Nobody ever asked me nothing.
You think they knew?
Then, I don't. Well, yeah, you have to know something's wrong. You know what I mean? Something's wrong with somebody
They
because
probably
you're
thought
starting
you
to
were on
look
drugs or
different.
something.
Maybe. And then I remember Melissa telling me, like, hey, there's a couple coworkers that they come up to me. They know her and I are real tight.
Yeah.
They're asking me, is Sherry okay? Like, is
Right.
Sherry all right? What's wrong with Sherry? Is Sherry okay? And then she's like, I promised you I wasn't going to say anything. I just told him, oh, that I know of. I don't know. You'd have to ask her. I don't know of anything.
Yeah.
But nobody ever came up to me and asked me, like, even if you're okay. Nobody asked me nothing. Just one of those awkward situations, I guess.
Yeah.
But then here I am 4 months in working at the casino, and I can't do it. I don't know I don't know in my head what I was thinking. But obviously reality kicked in. And I'm like, yeah, I can't do this. I can't do this. But that's who my medical insurance was through the casino.
Oh, I see.
And so then once I stopped working there, I applied for Medi-Cal. Medi-Cal denies me. Go figure.
I was about to say.
Go figure. Medi-Cal denies me
Well,
Why?
Because, what?
because too much money. There's too much income.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So then I appeal it, and then we're able to get, what is that, Obamacare? When Obama came out with the Obamacare,
Okay.
I ended up applying for that, and I was able to get on that. And then that's how I was like, well, I'm on treatment. How are you going to deny me? Like, I'm in the middle of treatment. How am I supposed to get my treatment?
Yeah.
But then I ended up applying for Obama, and then appealing the Medi-Cal, and then applying for Obama, and then I got the Obama. So then I was able to still do my stuff.
Shout out to Obama.
Yeah, for reals. Like, that came in handy. For me, it did. Like, he helped me out when it came to that part. But yeah, so that's how that went. And then you and Priscilla would come and take turns.
And I think
Checking on me and staying with me.
similar, because I was younger.
Yeah.
And I think too, hearing you had cancer, it was kind of like, I never seen you any different.
Yeah.
The first time, it was like I really didn't know the shit. I was
Yeah.
young. I didn't live with you either.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't in your house.
Where you see me every day.
So it was like you had it, but I didn't see no difference. You didn't act no different. You weren't
Yeah.
any different. So I was like, oh, okay, and you're good. All right, that's cool. Like it didn't never hit me. It never faced me at all.
Yeah.
The second time, I didn't live with you, so I didn't see nothing. I
Yeah.
didn't go visit you. I didn't know anything. There was no
Yeah.
physical change. You didn't lose weight. So to me, it's just like, oh, you got cancer. Well, I hope you feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm at a younger age too, where I don't know the seriousness of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then that time when you cut your shaved your hair, I was over your house a lot more because we lived closer.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I was living with you at the time.
No, I don't know.
Because
I don't
that
think
was
so.
the time where
No, because I think you were still you were living with your
yeah,
dad's.
but I was over at your house a lot
Yeah,
more.
you were
I
just
was there
a lot more, yeah.
compared to those other two times.
Yeah.
So I seen it
Because
a
you
lot
and Priscilla would take turns.
more. Yeah, so that time it was more serious.
Yeah.
Like, oh, hold up, shit's different.
Yeah.
Like I know you said you had it before, but like,
Oh no, it was
this is
different this time.
Yeah.
It was. I went to having to use a wheelchair.
Oh shoot.
I went to using a wheelchair, and I remember my cousin Sopas and her husband Richard. Richard would come over and he'd put when they'd go to church. I'm like, oh no, I'm good. No, you're gonna go to church. No, I have the wheelchair and I'm not gonna be able to walk. I'm not gonna be able to do this. He's all okay, and I'll pick up your. That was before he got sick, and he was like, no, I'm like, don't worry. And I lived on the house was on a hill, like I had a long driveway.
steep ass driveway.
It was
bro.
it was like
steep
that, and the
ass
house was
driveway.
up here on the hill.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, then you have to come up here, like with the wheelchair, or roll me down. You're just gonna. And he's like, no, you don't worry about that. You don't. And they did. He came over and he would get the wheelchair. He put it in the car. He'd take it off at the church. He'd wheel me in. And no, because I went from a wheelchair to a walker to a cane.
So would you say this time around you felt like you did have more support?
Oh yeah.
Like you felt it?
Yeah. Well, and I think too, I learned not to push away.
Put yourself on an island.
Put myself away and seclude myself from everybody else to try to figure out how to deal with this, because and then at that point, like I said, I was losing my hair. I was throwing up. I didn't want to eat nothing. He kept trying to get me to eat stuff.
Yeah.
My appetite changed. I didn't want nothing. The only thing that would really stay in my stomach was yogurts, jellos, and cranberry juice. Was really pretty much all was my food. That was
Yeah.
my diet. And that was all I was eating, really, you know. And if that, sometimes Priscilla would come over and make me food, and I would fight with her like I was literally a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
I don't want it. What are you making for? I don't want it. Like, why are you making it? You eat it. I don't want it.
Yeah.
You're wasting your time and you're wasting food. I don't want it. And she would just be like, I'm leaving right here. Then whenever you're ready, let me know and I'll warm it up. And I'm just like, oh. And I'd be fighting with her like I'm 2. And but yeah, they would be alternating. They would take turns.
What helped you with the appetite?
Well, I ended up going to Mary Jane. That's what helped me with my appetite. That's what ended up helping me with my appetite. And I had never before.
Yeah. Allegedly.
No, I had never before. No, I had
Allegedly
never.
what?
She hadn't done it before.
Oh,
Yeah, he said allegedly, but no, I had never before.
Yeah, me neither.
No, I haven't, guys.
Yeah, you neither, huh?
No.
But when I did get sick,
How's it
yeah, I did. I was like, well, let's see if it helps with, because I wasn't sleeping, I was in pain, I wasn't eating. So I was like, well, shoot, if this could help me, give me the munchies, help me sleep, at least make the pain tolerable.
At
Yeah.
that time, it wasn't illegal how it is now, though. Either.
Yeah, no, it wasn't legal. It wasn't legal, so we had to get it illegally.
Allegedly.
Oh shit.
Allegedly.
So we had to get it from somebody. And yeah, and I had experience
Well, tell them
with
the
that.
story. Tell them so they know the funny story.
So I decide, because Savannah was small and she was like chicle, she wanted to go everywhere with me. And I decide, let me try making homemade edibles, brownies. I YouTube it. How hard could it be? The video looked easy. Let's try it. So we're in there trying to make it in the kitchen, and we do them, and they're like this big, brownies. And the house smelled like marijuana. Like it was, we were like it was a marijuana house. That's what the whole house smelled like.
Yeah, dispensary and everything.
That's what it smelled like. It was a dispensary house, but it wasn't. But that's how the house smelled, so strong, huh? And so I make it, get them, cut them, put them in a container, He's there
But
staying.
we don't know what the fuck we're doing, honestly.
Yeah.
Like we're watching some YouTube video. We don't
Yeah.
know what the hell we're doing.
So Breaking
Just
Bad
look
type
at this,
shit.
do this,
Yeah,
that,
bro.
and see. And I think he said do this, and I think to do that, and I don't remember.
There's a whole lot of fuckets. Whole lot of
And
fuckets within that-
so we
that
make him,
recipe.
cut him, put him in the container. That night he stays the night with me to help watch me out, to watch me. And the way the house was set up is the living room's on one side of the house, and the bedroom I was in was on the other side of the house. So he's in the living room, and he would just come and check on me. Like, you good, Mom? You need anything? You good, Mom? You need anything? Well, I'm in my room watching TV.
No, but before that though, so we pull them out the oven, cut them up before she put them away or whatever. Cut them up, and then she tries it. I'm like, hey, go ahead, try it.
Oh, yeah.
So she fucking tries it, and she's like, well, it don't taste like.
It don't taste like nothing.
I
It tastes
mean,
like a brownie.
Yeah.
It literally, you could not taste
She's like,
nothing of
she's like,
wheat.
at least they taste good. And I'm like, all right. So then we're just right there
And
laughing about it, talking, whatever. And then she ate the whole fucking brownie.
The whole,
And she's
but they were like this
10
big.
minutes, 15 minutes passed, and I'm like, hey, just chill out. She's like, well, no, I don't feel anything. She keeps picking at it. I'm like, hey, chill the fuck out. Like, she's like, I don't think it worked. It didn't do nothing.
Yeah,
Like, nah,
I said,
it didn't work.
I don't think I made them right.
They're
We
full of
missed something.
bullshit. Bad connect.
And I can, yeah, this fake ass oregano. And I was like, hey, chill out though. She's like, nah, I don't taste like nothing. She ate like another half of one. And I'm like, well, fuck, maybe it didn't work. And then that's when she starts going over there. She's
I go to my room.
no, you went to the living room.
Was it to the living
You
room?
went to the living room and she's watching TV. And all of a sudden she gets the munchies and shit.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then we're sitting there watching the movie and she's drinking cranberry juice. And all of a sudden she's drinking it, making like a sound like it's like she's in the desert. And she hasn't drank nothing in a while.
Oh.
Like gulp, 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 the whole fucking glass. And she's like, and I'm like, what the hell? She's like, that is good. And I'm like, are you all right? She's like, oh yeah, I feel good. Is there any more of those brownies? Like, I'm hungry. And I'm like, I think they hit you. She's like, I don't know, but I feel good. I'm hungry. So I think she even ate some food. But that didn't last long.
I snacked on some chips.
That didn't last long, right?
No, but then I ended up eating a total of 4. Me not realizing that when it's an edible, it takes longer for it to hit. I didn't, obviously, I don't know what I'm doing.
I told her, but she...
And so then
you didn't
I go,
know either. You
I
know,
go
we
and
haven't
eat
done that.
4, and then all
You
of a
didn't know either. It was
sudden,
your first time
Discovery
too.
Channel, bro.
Oh.
I go to get up to go to the restroom, and I have my walker, and I get up to go to the restroom, and it's like I was moving slow, but it's like the room, even though it's a room and not moving, but it was moving all like so fast. And it's like I'm moving slow and everything around me is just moving so fast.
I don't think she
I start
had
hollering.
She had shrooms.
I start hollering for him. I start hollering for him in the house. He comes running over to the hallway. And then he's like, what's the matter? What's the matter? Are you all right? You all right? And I was like, that I had to go to the restroom. That's why I got up. And then he's like, what's the matter? And I was like, shh. Shh. And he's like, what?
They can hear us.
And I'm like, do you hear that? And he's like, hear what? I'm like, my heart is beating so loud. Do you hear it? Make it stop. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Call 911. You need to do something. Something's wrong. And I just started like full-blown paranoid panic mode.
Panic attack. And I started laughing.
And
I'm
he's just
dying.
laughing. He's just laughing at me.
It's another year
Everything's
right there.
all right,
It's
Mom.
another year right there.
I'm like, hey, you tripping. Just chill out. You'll be all right.
Yeah, I didn't even have to go to the bathroom. I got up to go to the restroom. I didn't have to go to the restroom no more. So he takes me back to the bed in the room and he tells me, just lay down. It's be fine. No, don't leave me. Don't leave me. And I'm just like, I'm all freaked out, panic, paranoid. And I'm like, just don't leave me. Just don't leave me. Well, yeah, he puts a blanket on me and then he's just like rubbing the bottom of my leg. Mom, I'm right here. Don't go, don't go. Where are you at? Where are you at? I'm right here. I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. Finally, at some point, I just knock out.
No, I remember I remember I tell you, because you're like, how do I stop? How does it stop? How do I get to stop?
yeah, yeah.
And I was like, go take a fucking cold shower.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
want us to stop? Take a
Yeah,
cold shower.
I did
like,
take a shower.
And she took a cold shower. I remember, I think it helped a little bit, but you're like, I feel a little bit better. But
I felt better in the shower. But then when
that's
I
you
got
went to
out,
sleep after.
yeah. Yeah. So that was an experience.
That was funny.
So did you do it again afterwards, or that
No,
was,
I got the container the next day and threw the whole container in the trash. So somebody came up who went dumpster diving. On the good stuff, they're probably like, "Ooh, brownies," and then they gonna sing something else. I don't know. They worked good though. I thought I didn't know what I was doing, but I did. Clearly, we did.
Yeah, you never need some baking done. You know, hit up sunshine.
Right? But yeah, so that was an experience. That was an experience. But since I didn't do the edibles, I just went back to smoking it.
Yeah.
I just went back to smoking it.
Thug.
And
Thug?
that,
I'm like
and,
thug.
huh?
I'm like thug.
So I just
I'm gonna
ended.
edit the little glasses and the put
I
the
just
Snoop
picture
Dogg
like, I just
music
picture
on.
like a pipe. I just picture like a pipe in her hand and everything. Like the
Everything.
yeah.
But and then I noticed like as time's going by and I'm doing my treatment, my ex is hardly ever home. He's hardly ever
The
home.
life of a truck driver.
Life of a truck driver, apparently.
Yeah.
You think it's one of those things that, because obviously you knew, right? Because before he was never home, those the same, no?
No, it was worse. Like he was never home. Before it would be he'd be gone like 3 days the most, and then come home, and then be home for a week, 2 weeks, and then be gone again another 3 days or whatever, but always come back.
Yeah.
But this time he was like MIA. He was like MIA, and I'm just like, okay, well, one day he decides to come home from work, and I'm throwing up in one of the restrooms, and I'm just on the floor, hugging the toilet. Priscilla's sitting on the tub, just like, Mom, let me know when you're ready, and I'll pick you up, or I'll help you. Let me know when you're done. And I'm just sitting there because the coldness of the tile on the floor just felt good. Like it just made me feel good.
Yeah.
So I told her, no, the coldness like on the floor just makes me feel better. Like it's just like, I don't know, it just feels good against my body right now. So I'm sitting there, all of a sudden my ex gets home and he walks to right where we're at in the restroom, and then that's when he turns around and tells Priscilla. Turns around and tells me, but Priscilla's right there. And he turns around and tells me like, look, I don't know what to tell you, Sherry. I can't do this.
Oh shit.
I can't do this. This is not what I signed up for. Like, I don't know what you want me to tell you, but I can't do this. I don't love you no more.
Oh shoot.
And I was just like, what the hell just happened? Like, and I just looked at him and I was like, you know what? You go do whatever you've been doing all this time. Go do whatever you've been doing. Priscilla flies across the damn bathroom and gets in his face, starts yelling at him. They go at it. And I'm just like, no, it's not worth it. He's not worth it. Like, let him go do him. Like, I can't worry about him and worry about me. I got more important things to be worried about right now. So I told him, you go do whatever it is you've been doing all this time, or what you've been doing that I don't know about. Like, go ahead. You
Yeah.
go do you. That's what you've been doing without me knowing anyways.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that ended up getting things a little crazy. That life got a little crazy during that time. And so then yeah, that's what led to that divorce, was me getting sick. At the end.
Yeah.
At the end of everything, that's what led to that divorce, was me. Well, because I decided I can't be married to somebody who doesn't have my back.
Yeah.
Who's not there during your worst time in your life. And I thought at that time, who does this? People do this? How I think that's when I realized how ugly somebody's heart could be.
How selfish they are.
Yeah.
How fake someone could be.
Yeah. And it was just, that was just wild to me.
I wouldn't say it's like, it's ugly, obviously, but it was a hidden.
Yeah.
It was fake.
It was fake.
It was fake. So that's how
Yeah,
like, fake somebody
it was
could be.
fake. It was definitely fake.
I remember you telling me that before you guys got married and got serious, moved in, that there were signs.
Yeah.
You just ignored them.
Yeah.
So do you feel like somewhat responsible? Like, because like I chose to be with this person when
you chose to look past that.
I should have.
Yeah.
I should have made a better decision as a partner.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of people in society, a lot of people we know, they're with somebody out of comfort. They're with somebody because they got time invested.
Yeah.
And then when a situation like that happens, when life happens,
Yeah.
what do they say? Real situation expose
That's
fake
when
people.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of people, they're with together 5-10 years. They don't know until something like that happens.
Until life
like,
happens. Yeah.
You really didn't love each other. That's what it's tested.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I feel like if whoever's in a relationship, whoever's thinking of getting married, whoever's going down that fucking road, you better make sure that, you know what I mean? Till death do us part?
Yeah, like for better or for worse.
Because not everybody's takes that shit serious.
No,
like
nobody
that.
don't, because you don't think nothing's ever going to happen.
Yeah.
And life happens. Life happened to me. Life happened. And I remember when I ended up joining.
Here comes some real savages right here.
I know.
I ended up joining a support group. I ended up joining.
Give me a couple more laps.
I ended up joining a cancer support group to help me out. And Miss Pat, my dear, beautiful friend, Miss Pat, her and I connected right off the bat because the same thing happened with her husband. And so her and I related to each other. Like, dang, like what are the odds? Both of us fighting the same battle. Her husband did, my husband, you know what I mean? Said he couldn't do it. Her husband said he couldn't do it. And here we are, you know? And so we became very good friends. We connected right away, you know, to this day, we're still friends. And that, the third time when I got diagnosed, that's when I reached out to a support group because that was going to help me. I think that was going to help me emotionally with people who could relate to me. Like you can tell me this because you know, you're walking my walk. We're walking the same path, you know, so those people can connect to me better, you know, as far as what I'm going through and how I feel. You know, people say, oh, eat, make sure you eat this. Come on, you got to eat this, you got to do, or try this and try that. And it's just like, oh, it's not that. You guys just don't get it. Like you don't get it, you know? And so, yeah, I would say like anybody going through it, like definitely have a support group. Yeah, your family is always a support system, but sometimes you need somebody who's outside of that. You know what I mean? Where you can relate with no judgment, vent, and be there for each other without any judgment, and somebody who's walked that walk or who's walking the same walk at the same time.
Yeah. No, I agree.
You
know,
know?
because I always say the same thing, like, you can't tell me to do something when you haven't done it. Mm-hmm. So I feel the same way.
And it's like, you know, the person's intentions are good.
But like as a family member,
it comes from a good place.
As a family member, you can only say so much. So you can't, I can't get mad at somebody for them not understanding.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I know you can't understand. I know there's nothing you could tell me. I know it is what, you know what I mean? It sucks.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating both sides because like for your situation, for me, what the fuck can I do? What can I tell you?
Yeah.
You're right. I can't tell you, but what can you do?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what do you think somebody who their family member is dealing with breast cancer, some type of cancer, something similar to that situation, what advice do you have for them to be their support system for that person?
I would say just be there, even if you just check on them. Like, hey, you good? Do you need anything? Do you need? And sometimes it's not even like, it's maybe asking them, what do you need from me? What do you need from me? Because a lot of times we'll tell you like, I just need you to be right here. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what? Can you just come and chill with me for a little bit? Can you come? Can you come over so we can put a movie on? We can put a good movie on and laugh. Or can you come and talk to me? Let's go down memory lane and laugh.
What about like those people who do isolate themselves and do shut down? Is there anything?
Yeah, just
maybe send them flowers, send them a card. Yeah. Send them something where it's like, okay, I know you don't want to be around anybody right now. Yeah. But I'm thinking of you.
Yeah. Or that part. You know what I mean? Where you're just thinking about them.
Maybe it's not the text, but like the flowers.
Even if it's a text, like, hey, just thinking about you.
Like you said, there's times you didn't want to get text.
No, but you still see it.
Yeah.
You still see it. Yeah. You still see it. You can't avoid that. You know what I mean? So even if it's a card, and there would be times where I gotten cards in the mail. I've gotten cards in the mail. Linda's mom, Martha, she sent me a card in the mail one time. Your grandma would stop by. Mm-hmm. She would stop by and be like, Sherry, is it okay for me to stop by? She asked me, is it okay to stop by? Yeah, I didn't want company, but I felt bad telling her no. So I was just like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, go ahead and come by. Yeah, she came by, brought me flowers and came by. If you need anything, let me know. And I'm like, oh, no, I will. Okay, thank you. You know, and she even brought me some of those. What do you call those? Oh, I can't even think of the name of it because she had me drinking it.
Like some Pedialyte stuff or something? Or?
No, those soursop. I think it's called soursop in English. She called it something in Spanish, but I think in English it was called like soursop or something like that. But it's supposed to be like a real healthy thing for your system or something. So she had me drinking. She would have me buying those, and then I'm drinking that. Like, okay, well, at this point, I'll try it. She means well. It comes from a good place. You know, I think too because I had already been through so much. That the last thing I wanted to do, because my marriage was already falling apart on top of my health. You know what? Fighting for my health. That the last thing I wanted to do was seclude and be alone.
Yeah, because you learned from your past.
Yeah, because I learned from my battle before. That the last thing I wanted to do was be alone because I knew that was going to be a danger zone. That was playing with fire.
So that 14 one, so take us through after, like, say you got divorced, or when did you get better? Was it before or after? How long did it take to get better?
It took, about a year? It was a year. And then
And then I
But I
remember
still
too,
didn't
you
feel
were
good.
you were wearing wigs too, right?
Yeah.
And then you didn't like it. Then you were wearing
No.
like Tupac. You had a little
Yeah.
bandana tied like Tupac. You made like a joke out of it.
Yeah, when my hair started growing,
They
finally
started
coming
calling
out,
my cousin started Trucker.
started calling me Jamal.
Jamal.
Because my curls, when my hair started coming out, my hair came back pitch black.
She had a jerry curl.
And I never had black hair. But my hair came back black and they were like tight curls. And so Trucker started calling me Jamal for the longest, to forever. He called me
It stuck.
even after I was better. He's like, "Oh, Jamal's here. Where's Jamal? Jamal's here." Yeah, because my hair came back curly. Yeah, I tried the wig thing because going through it, like you lose, the most important thing is your life. But we're human, we're women, we're vain. And so you don't feel you no more. You lose who you are. And so I remember Priscilla took me to get a makeover. Priscilla took me to Kaiser to go to makeover, and that's where I got my wig at. They gave me like this whole kit, did your makeup, and they gave you a kit, gave you a wig and everything. And I did wear it to a wedding. I went to a wedding and I did wear it to a wedding, but the whole time I'm like,
Is it falling? Oh, is it itchy?
and I'm sweating and I'm just like, oh my God,
You feel
I
like
just want to.
everybody's staring at you or
Yeah, and I feel like everybody's just looking at
Self-conscious?
me. Like, yeah. And then I was just like, I can't do this. I'm not a wig person and I can't do this. And I think I only wore it maybe like 2-3 times maybe, and then that was it. It just kind of went, I don't even know what ended up happening to it. Honestly, I remember it got packed away, but I don't remember where it went now. But then after I finished everything, I was in remission, we got everything. I still was not feeling good. And I couldn't pinpoint it. And I remember going back to my doctor and telling my doctor, like, is it because my body's been through so much? Is that why this time it's taking me longer to heal, you think? He said, no.
Like you're just not coming back the same.
Yeah.
It's just,
And he's like, no, you're young. You're young still. Like, no, that doesn't have nothing to do with that. And I was like, well, something's wrong. Like, something's wrong. I get this bad pain. My stomach's always cramping. My pelvic area is always cramping. Like, something's not right. I can't figure out how to bounce back. He's like, this was 4 months after I'd been put in remission. Well, let's just do some more tests because it's already been a minute since you've been saying you haven't been feeling good. Let's run some more. He did all kinds of other different tests. And then that's when it came back. It was in my uterus. I was like, what the hell? Yep, he's like, it's in your uterus and we need to do emergency surgery ASAP. What do you mean like ASAP? Like now? Like now? No, I'm not. And I walked out of the office and I told him, no, we're not doing it. No, I don't know what to tell you, but we're not doing it. And I remember I got home and I was like.
That's when you said where you got 50-50 chance?
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
He gave me 50-50 chance of making it off the table, which like reality sets in. Like
When you thought it couldn't get no lower, you thought it couldn't get worse.
You couldn't get worse. Here, I'm going through a divorce. You know what I mean? I just beat breast cancer for the 3rd time. And now you're telling me it's in my uterus and I have 50-50 chance of making it on the table. He's like, your immune system isn't what it needs to be, but we need to go in to do the surgery. And you need to go in now.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a real easier laparoscopic surgery. We're just going to go in and do a hysterectomy. We only could do a partial because of your history. We don't want to take your ovaries out because then that's going to throw you into menopause. And because you're a cancer patient, we can't give you, because normally they give women hormonal supplements. We can't give that to cancer patients.
Yeah.
So we don't want to throw you into menopause. So we're going to leave your ovaries and do a partial hysterectomy. Well, finally I ended up deciding with the surgery and whatever. And I made it off the table. Here I am.
And I remember she had a problem with it because she was like, I don't know, is that what you said? Like, that's what, like, your women parts or women, like, you felt like you're going to be less women? And and I didn't understand.
Yeah.
You know, as a guy, I'm just like, what the fuck are you talking about? You want to either feel like you're not a woman or you want to be dead. I'm a logical thinker,
Yeah.
right? And I think she even put it to me like, what about they got to cut off, like,
Cut off your balls and shit.
your testicles and shit?
Yeah.
Like, I was like, well, shit, that's fucked up. That sucks. But I mean, you gonna die?
Yeah.
Like, what is the alternative?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of like, as much as it sucks.
Yeah. But I think the
You wanna
whole
be here or not?
50-50 is what scared me.
Yeah.
like 50-50. Like, you're not even giving me like 80-20.
Yeah, 50-50.
You're giving me 50-50. Like, what the hell? You know, and I remember I was nervous. I was so nervous. And I remember laying when they were putting the
So
morphine
when they
in.
told you to when you got it, how long was that?
To when? What do you mean?
When they told you need surgery to when you're actually on the table, what was the time?
Oh, it
frame?
was like, well, I took 2 weeks to think about it. So it took me 2 weeks after I walked out of the office and said no. I went home for 2 weeks going, just battling it in my head. Then I went home and told you guys about it, told my parents about it, called my parents because they were already out of state. Called my parents, tell them about it. Of course, everybody disagrees with me.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm not asking you to agree with me. I'm just asking you to back me up on whatever I decide. No matter whether you agree with me or don't disagree with me. And he right off the bat was like, so you're just giving up. That's what you're doing. You're just giving up.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, you can call it whatever you want. I'm not doing it. Like, I'm not doing it. And then 2 weeks, and it was just the whole fear of the whole 50-50 thing. Like, what if I don't make it off? What if I don't, and this is it? Like, shoot, like, am I ready for that? Are they ready for that? I don't want that. You know, but then, yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it, you do have to do what you have to do at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very, very grateful that even though the things that I've been through, like, as dark as they've been through, but at the end, it made me who I am today. You know what I mean? Where I feel like I look at life differently.
Yeah.
I look at life differently. I forgive easier. I don't, try not to let things bother me as much. You know what I mean? And my health, I take care of my health. Is very important to me. I try to stay on top of my health as much as I can. And even after I was done with the chemo and I did my surgery and everything, that's when I found out I had lupus, and I got lupus because of the chemo.
Oh shit. The one thing led to the other.
So it's like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I could not have the other one. I had to do it. I was put in a position where I had to do it.
Yeah.
So it just sucks because, like, I think a lot of people, unless you've gone through it, a lot of people, and we've talked about this in my support group, Ms. Pat, Ms. Laura, all of us, Sheila, all of us, we've all talked about how even though we're in remission, no matter what, our bodies never go back to being the same again.
Yeah.
Never. Your bodies never go back to being the same again, and we all have to deal with some type of side effects from it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And those are just stuff that we have to deal with. But people just see the outside, and our outside doesn't match the inside. But I would say, yeah, definitely anybody who is going through it, like, reach out to somebody. Look for, if it's a support group, it helped me. It's not for everybody, but it did help me. I'm very grateful for my support group, my girls today. Because like I said, those are friends that I've made to this day. We talk.
Yeah.
They're in my life. There's no getting rid of them.
Yeah.
And they've helped me a lot in my journey as far as relating to me and helping me. Or even us checking in on each other. We still to this day check on each other. Like, hey, you good? You go to your doctor appointment? What happened? How did that go? What's going on? We still stay in contact with each other and check on each other. But definitely health, taking care of your health is very important.
Preventing it. Taking care of yourself so you don't put
Taking
yourself.
care of
'cause everybody
yourself.
knows when you're overweight, when you eat like shit, treat your body like shit, you're the likelihood that you're gonna be getting some type of sickness is higher.
Yeah. Most definitely.
Try to be proactive,
Try to be proactive and try to stay on top of it. Try to stay on top of things before you get put in a situation where you're forced to do things that you really wouldn't want to do.
Because if you don't got time
or
for your
you
health,
don't have
yeah.
that chance.
Yeah.
Some people don't even have it. They don't even make it off the table, and they don't even get another chance to live right. You know what I mean? That was their last chance.
Yeah.
If you don't make time for your health, like most people do, I don't have time for that. You don't have time for it. Sooner or later, you're gonna be
You're gonna be forced to make time.
You're gonna be put in a position where it's gonna acquire all your time.
Forced to make time, yeah.
You don't have. I can't because I work. Well, you can't work when you're sick. It's because I got kids. You don't understand. I got little ones.
Well, you're not gonna take care of them if you're sick, though.
Yeah, you're gonna be a liability.
Yeah. Yeah. No, most definitely.
And as much as it sucks too, before I forget, like as much as it sucks, how many times you've had it, how many times you've gone through it, different ones, right? And it's like over a decade, right? It's like you don't know. Well, you're being used to help other people
Yeah.
because you kind of became fucking somewhat of an expert on it. What questions to ask, what to do,
Yeah.
what the support group, all you ladies. Somebody could be watching this and they could be going through, or they know somebody going through it, send it to them, and it's just like that's like you're like the example of how they could go through it.
Yeah.
So
Or
as
even
much as it
medically,
sucks,
we try to help each other out. Like, hey, did you ask your doctor this, or
That's
take
what I'm saying,
this
yeah.
test, or do this test, or
don't do this medication because this has this side effect, and they don't tell you.
Yeah. And even with my lupus, there's women in there that have lupus too, and I didn't want to do the treatment for lupus. To this day, I don't do no treatment for my lupus. I choose the natural, and the ladies in the support group, some of them have lupus or have daughters that have lupus. And they're like, they've recommended, like, oh, try this, try that. This is what works for me. See if it works for you. This is what I've used all these years. And I'm like, okay, and yeah, that's what I've done. Messed around with stuff until I found something that worked for me. But that's why I'll always be a big person. Anybody who knows me knows that I'll be a big person on posting. I always try to post positive quotes, positive stuff. Or I'm always talking about self-care. Just because self-care is important. You taking care of you is important. Because if you don't take care of you, who's going to take care of you? Nobody's going to take care of you. And if you can't take care of you, how are you going to take care of anybody else? It's like even if as a mom or a dad or a brother or a sister, if you can't take care of you, how are you going to take care of your siblings? You know what I mean? Or the mom or the dad. Like, okay, if dad can't take care of himself, how's he going to take care of his household? And the same thing with the mom. It all just trickles down to a whole domino effect, on taking care of you.
Well, we've all heard that, right? When you're on a plane, who do you put the mask on first? Mm-hmm. If I'm putting it on Lupe or I'm putting it on you, I'm going to fucking pass out.
Yeah.
I ain't helping nobody.
Yeah.
So as selfishly as it is, you have to put yourself first before anybody and everybody.
Yeah.
Because if not, they're going to have to end up taking care of you.
Yeah.
And me, I feel like mentally for everybody, men, women, that's why for me it's so important to be mentally strong because you never know what could pop up. And your mentality is everything.
Yeah.
It could be the difference between you making, going for the 50-50, you're not doing it. You could not be here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or you could have been depressed one of those times and try to take your life.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I can't deal with this. How many times I feel like somebody's trying to take me out? Let me just help them out and do it.
Yeah.
I already had it 3 times.
Yeah.
So mentally, you got to be fucking strong.
Yeah.
Because even though your body's breaking down, your mind is what has to stay
Connected.
solid.
Yeah.
And the best way to do it is to do it now. Work on your mentality now, the discipline, and you know what I mean? Your mindset. Try to be positive now. Because if you try to be positive when the world's falling apart,
yeah, when the
that
problem's
shit ain't going to happen.
It's not going to work. It's not going to work.
Yeah. Any other message you got to leave to anybody that is going through it, has went through it, or anything?
No, just stay strong. Stay strong, stay positive, and don't ever feel like there's nobody there because there's always people around. Never pull yourself away from anybody. Never pull yourself and seclude yourself away from anybody, whether it be family or friends.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing with us. Thank you for sharing your story. And if you guys got any questions, let us know in the comments. If you guys got any questions for her, let us know in the comments. And yeah, there's a lot more to her story that's going to be in her book. I don't know how many different books you're going to have, what it's going to be about, but that was just about breast cancer, guys. There's a whole nother story of the
lupus.
The lupus. There you go. There's a whole nother story about that, and a bunch of other injuries, a bunch of other challenges. Like that's just breast cancer for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. But yeah, if you guys want more, let us know. Leave a like, leave a comment, and like always, stay fucking savage. Peace.